How's it going, everyone? It's Juan Romero back again with another review today at Spelunker Party, provided to us by Square Enix. So thank you very much indeed. Hope you enjoy the review. Let's get into this one. So the story here goes that Spelunker wakes up one night with a fright to a deafening rumbling sound. She stares out of her window in amazement as the bright streak of light travels across the dark sky. When the light disappears beyond the horizon, she hears a faint boom and feels a little shake. Strange things have been happening to the earth ever since that collision, and according to the fairy chief, the cause is located deep down underneath the earth. It's now up to you and your friends to explore the depths and make your way down to the earth's core. The story is okay and sets the scene really quite well. Other than the opening cutscene, there isn't much to drive the game in terms of story though, and once you're down in the mines, it's just a case of exploring, unlike say a game like SteamWorld Dig 2, where the story plays a much bigger role and drives you as the protagonist. The audio, I have to say, is quite superb here. The tunes are so catchy and entertaining from the beginning. It makes you feel like you are on one big adventure. Everything about the melodies screams happy, and while the sound effects are not the best I've ever heard, they're all good enough to match what you see on screen. From the explosions to scare away bats to boulders rolling down the hill at a frightening rate of knots. So let's talk about the visuals quickly. The game is super cute and charming, has the cuteness factor that you associate with games like Mario or Animal Crossing. The levels all look detailed and crisp enough, and I did not encounter any slowdown or technical issues in either handheld or portable mode. The animations have a little bit to be desired really, but for me adds to the overall character of this game. You could say you either like this style or you don't, but I found it all very pleasant and welcoming, and especially for families, this is a great game that everybody can play. The levels could have done with a little bit more variation for me, as they all do look quite similar, which was a little bit of a disappointment. Overall though, I found the visuals to be of a decent enough standard. So I'm showing my age here guys, but back in the day there was a game called Spelunker, which was about exploring a cave and getting to treasure deep within that cave. Now I first played that game on the Commodore 64, however it was originally a game made by Timothy Martin on Atari. I remember this game being one of the hardest games I ever played, and honestly I think most people that have played it would say it was impossible. In 1987 Spelunker 2 was released. So here we have Spelunker Party. When I saw this was coming out, my hair stood on end, sweat poured from my brow, and I had the shivers. The memory of Spelunker etched in my memory forever. Multiple deaths, and was a game I would never really recover from. It was back, and then this time I was going to conquer my Spelunker fears. It was time to face my demons. So here we have a similar theme, although it's skinned in a lot more friendly graphics. But don't get these cute looks deceive you, because this is not an easy game either. I will be honest with you, in the first hour I wanted to send the code back to Square Enix and tell them I was not going to review it, but that would just be running away from the problem. After coming from reviewing the Fluid Splasher platformer, I found it difficult at first to adjust to this platformer, which is in all intents and purposes mechanically a little dated. There are design decisions here which will literally drive you mad, but bear with me. You start out at the cave and you'll be able to choose a number of routes to drive further down. Each stage is broken into a number of areas, sometimes 2, 3 or more. You can explore these caves on your own or with friends. Now with friends it's more fun, you are able to collect more collectibles than you are if you're playing alone. I spent most of my time with the game exploring though on my own, because I felt that I'd be more in control. In your way will be a number of traps and enemies ranging from bats to ghosts, but you are equipped to tackle these. Bombs can be used to blow up rocks and find secrets, for example, and ghosts can be neutralized with your weapon. Now, the collectibles range from discovering gold to lithostones, and lithostones are cool because they help you unlock items and gear. When you unlock this gear, you can equip it and you'll level up as you complete the stages. You can also unlock pets like dogs, which can help you find further collectibles, and it's really great if playing alone to have some company. You can use power stones to power up items also, and furthermore you can place items and save them in sets, so you can choose your favourite set to tackle specific levels where the gear may be more appropriate, which is a really nice touch. There is online leaderboards to add more replayability. The things about this which is really great is you're also able to play online with friends, and you're also able to create rooms so that your friends can join. And when you play online with others, the screen splits. This is crucial for two reasons. One, to see what the other players are collecting in terms of collectibles, and of course to see the funny side when they die. But that can also lead to frustrations, because every time they die you have to sort of go back and help them if it's their final life. And that's where problems start to arise. You can toggle this on the fly to full screen by pressing the right stick, which is brilliant. You can also of course play locally by just breaking off a Joy-Con. You're off and away. Now, I only managed to play the game locally. Unfortunately, trying to play online, there wasn't anybody to play with, which was unfortunate, so I couldn't really test how well it played online or if there was any technical issues. Your pets can also be powered up and become powerful allies in your adventures. Snowball, for example, digs up lithostones. Be sure to pay a visit to the fairies chief and accept quests, because there are certain items you can only get from him. Make sure you give candy to Pooch as well, because this special Pooch will retrieve something special for you each time, which I don't want to spoil here. He can be found on the home screen, where you can also customize your character. The worlds each have their own unique properties, and each level will take you no more than 5 minutes to complete. They are perfect for the Switch and its portable nature. I found myself playing this one mostly in portable mode. I just felt more comfortable playing this one in that way. So back to those demons. This game is frustrating due to a number of design choices. One is the nature of deaths and how you can die just from jumping a little bit too high, or when you jump for a rope, you can't just run off the ledge and grab it like you could in other games. You have to jump, or the death animation will appear in the gap between the rope and the ledge. The number of traps and animals trying to get you, from gases spewing out of holes, bats dropping stuff on you, or snakes crawling up ropes, will no doubt kill you a number of times, and you only have a certain number of lives per level. Lose all of them and you start again. There is also an energy meter, and if you run out of energy you also perish. There are a number of replenishing checkpoints which gives you some respite. The other problem here is obviously the skill level of your partner. If they die more than you do, then you have to save them constantly, and that just proved frustrating, I have to be honest, while playing with the missus. Despite all the iffy design choices and constant deaths, which brought me back to the 1980s, and despite the first hour being one of the most frustrating ever, something about this game kept me coming back for more. It's fun, and I enjoyed the grind to get more items and gear. I wanted to carry on and unlock more cool stuff and find more lithostones. It has an addictive quality, and I understand now why Square Enix wanted to publish this. Be prepared though for this. If you do play with other casual gamers who are not as skilled as you, you'll end up even more frustrated. Now, if you're not prepared to put in the time to learn the game, even though it's pretty simple, it will be frustrating for you and anyone you play with. Try and play the game with equally skilled players for the most fun. I do wish this game was a little bit more accessible, because the nature of the way it looks gives you that impression, but underlying this game is some real punishment. Never judge a book by its cover. It's never been more truer than this game. This grows on you the more time you put in. I can only explain it like some songs that you listen to for the first time, and you don't think much of it at the time, but the more times you listen, the more it grows on you and then ends up being one of your favourite songs. I just don't understand it. In terms of value, you get 100 levels here, and they are challenging, so it's not going to be completed anytime soon. The fact this is a party game you can play with up to 4 players is absolutely brilliant, as long as they're roughly the same skill as you. It's $24.99 in pounds or $29.99 in dollars on the eShop. You can get a Japanese version of this game if you're interested in physical format, and the import price to the UK is around £40, so quite expensive. I'll link it below for those that are collectors. It's also one of the few party games to have a good online mode. Although I couldn't test playing it with other players, it's still great to have this there. It could have been cheaper, but I don't think the price is that unreasonable with the amount of content you get with this game. So in terms of my verdict, I wanted to exercise my demons with this game, and to a certain extent I did that. Although I'll never get over the original Spelunker scars. This one is not as hard as the original, but for some the challenge will still be too high, so bear that in mind. For me, this is a cute looking game that I became highly addicted to. Add in the fact you can play with some friends, take a dog down to the mines and uncover lots of gear. Make this a charming adventure platformer. There is a demo, so try that first to see if it's your sort of thing. It won't be to everyone's taste, that's for sure, but for those that give it a go, it may just surprise you. For me then, a 6.5 out of 10. If you enjoyed this review, guys, I'd really appreciate you hit that thumbs up, really helps us out. Let me know what you think of this game by leaving me a comment down below, or any other Nintendo Switch game. And if you're a new watcher here, then hit that subscribe button. We do lots of reviews like this one, and we really hope you enjoyed this review. For all of our existing watchers who know what they're going to get, we really appreciate you continuing to support us. Now, my name is Juan Romero. I've been doing this a little while now, so for those of you that know me already, I'll see you on the next one.